Unless you're. Okay, all right. Good evening. I appreciate all of you having on to this Zoom. Again, I apologize for not doing it in person, but trying to coordinate all of that doesn't work. So to begin with, can somebody volunteer? You don't have to do the rest of your life. Recording.
So where is this? There it is. Okay. So there we go. So am I on here? Can everyone hear me? Okay,
Yes.
Becky's
Yes.
just trying to get hosted in the meeting. So just 1 second, okay?
All right, should be good. Okay, bye.
Okay, so now everyone can hear me.
Yep.
Okay, good. Sorry, I can't hear. Okay, I can only see a couple of you. A lot of your videos are off, so I'm just making certain. All right, there's a lot of people on here. I love that. Okay, so let me see if I can see at least like all I see is a black screen, so I'm just gonna roll with that. Okay, so I guess what we are doing tonight, I apologize, I'm kind of coming on not really fully prepared, but this is what I do, so I'm prepared by nature. Is we're going to talk about, based on what Heather said, was shopping like a pro. And I'm not really good at like running a meeting like this because usually if I'm the host, I'm the main one on here. So I can't really see people. So if anyone has questions, because I like to be very interactive with this stuff, I kind of want to know. So I guess I'm going to go through. Becky, give me some signs if at any point you don't hear me or see me or anything, okay? All right, awesome. And if anyone has any questions, just unmute yourself and ask me because I'm totally open to that. But what's interesting is that I just did a grocery shopping tour yesterday morning. So I was in Walmart for 4 hours out of my life, and that was interesting. But what we talked about when we were leaving, it was for a woman and her daughter. And what we were talking about was the main things we want to be looking for when we go into a store. And I think one of the key important factors is knowing whether you're looking for meals, whether you're looking for snacks, and also having an understanding of what macronutrients are. And I know a lot of times I discover that, sorry, my cat's getting involved here. I discover that people really don't know the difference. And the macronutrients are going to be your proteins, your carbs. Oh, I'm doing Zoom on my phone too, and your fats. And so anytime you're going into a grocery store and any item you're picking up, you want to know what the purpose of that item is. And so if you're looking at something, you want to turn over the label and decide, like peanut butter is a perfect example, and many of you have heard me talk about this. Is peanut butter a protein or a fat? A lot of people think it's a protein, but it has more than double the amount of protein in fat, which makes it a fat. So when you're looking at any item, if you're picking up a yogurt, it's more often than not that you're looking for a protein source. Unless you look at the carbohydrates and it has 23 grams of carbs and 14 grams of protein. Because of the sugar in there, now it's become a carbohydrate. So those are the type of things you want to look at and understand when you're reading labels, is what is the purpose behind this food that I'm buying? So if you're building a meal, you want to be saying, okay, so I need a protein source, I need a carbohydrate source, and where is the fat in this meal? Oftentimes it's going to come from your protein source. But if not, it's okay to add a little bit of it to it. And I guess that when you're looking for, like, let's say, I think that Becky and I were talking earlier, and she said a lot of times what people like, the question she hears a lot is people are asking, when I go to the store, how do I get more protein in? And how do I find higher protein snacks and better snacks? And I think that is the trick for a lot of people, because a lot of us know, okay, eggs and toast for breakfast or eggs and oatmeal. We can have a salad with chicken at lunch or a sweet potato, same thing for dinner. And then a protein source in there, chicken or fish. 1 second. Hi, honey. So my daughter's sneaking in on me. But for snacks, we want to look at, so something that has like, the first thing you want to look at is, does this have protein in it? Because a lot of times people will pick up just a carbohydrate, whether it be cookies, crackers, granola bars. A lot of granola bars, you really want to look at whether or not there's protein in that item. Because even the ones that say protein granola bar, they usually have 7 grams of protein, which is more than a normal one. So they're going to call it that. But if it has 30 grams of carbs, then that doesn't really matter. It kind of negates it. So that's where you want to look for things like beef jerky. If you can find like the Epic brand beef jerky is fantastic. There's a good one. I just saw Melissa on here. Melissa found a really good one that she was eating. Melissa, can you hear me? I don't know if she can hear me. She had a really good one, which I can post later, but it had low sugar. When you're looking at beef jerky, what you want to look at is the fact that it has low sugar, because anything teriyaki or honey garlic, they're adding sugar to those. And you just want it to be a protein source. 000 yogurt is really good. The Too Good yogurt is good. The one that some people have found, but I know it bothers some people's stomachs, so be careful, is the Ratio. Hard-boiled eggs, which sounds funny, is a really good high protein snack. So that's something you can do easily. And if I stop at a convenience store, sometimes that's something that I'll purchase, is because it's often probably the healthiest thing they have in the store. What else can I think of? Oh, bonus meals like the edamame noodles. If you want something that's quick, easy, and you can put in a little container, the edamame noodles are something that have 24 grams of protein, 24 grams of carbohydrates, and 13 grams of fiber. So now you have a perfect little meal. Throw veggies in there, you're good to go. So those are good things for food prep. Quest chips are fantastic. Cottage cheese, if you can do that, low fat or fat free. I'm trying to think of a lot. Does anyone on here, I want to know if anyone has questions before I just sit here and talk. I like to make certain that anyone gets things answered that they're looking for specifically. Is that a no? I cannot see anyone. I feel badly. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So when putting together meals, sorry, I didn't really get a big outline for this. So when putting together your meals, what is it that people, when going into the grocery store, that you find the most challenging? Does anyone get confused about anything on the labels and how it is to best put together your meals?
Naomi, this is Jacine. I don't know if you
Hi,
can hear me.
Jacine.
Hi.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, so I think for me, I either do like the same old, and it's really the planning. Like I look at your Thrive menus and I'm like, damn, like that looks good, right? But for me, I'm like, it's planning. And then if I go to the gym, I can't go until like 5:30 at night. And then I'm getting home, it's like 7. And then, sometimes my husband's already made something and, it is whatever it is. And I'm super grateful. So I think it's just breaking old habits and like what are like easy things to look at, and then planning that's just a big issue for me.
Is dinner the one that you have the hardest time with? Like what meals do you find the most trouble with? Dinner?
Dinner. Yeah.
And is it because of, what time do you get out of work?
So I get out like between 4:30 and 5. if I go to the gym, then I don't really get home until like 6:45, 7.
That's
And
me
what time-
too.
Okay, and what time are you eating before you go to the gym?
So sometimes like 1.
Okay, so one of the number one things I try and tell people, especially if you're going to the gym, your
Yeah.
body requires the nutrition in order to make your workout better. And also so that when you go into the gym, a little science behind it, your body needs something to burn to build muscle and to burn fat. So even if you give it like a 200 calorie, like a yogurt, a protein shake, a bag of Quest chips, an apple and some cottage cheese, some tuna fish, like something like a couple hundred calories around 3
Okay.
o'clock. That way, when you go in, you're not full or stuffed or anything.
Right.
And that way you have energy. It actually makes your workouts more efficient. And also when you get out, your body isn't so famished. What I find a lot of times is if I'm going from 1 until 5:30 and then I'm working out, and then it's 7:30 at night by the time I'm eating, I will eat anything you put in front of me.
Pretty much. Thank you.
Exactly. And the challenge is then we're going to bed. So then
Right.
it's like, okay, so now even though I just burned all this energy, now I'm going to bed. So now this food's going to sit with me. So if
Right.
you can plan, I think the number one thing you can do, number one thing above all else, is to have something around 200 calories, protein rich, to eat around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And then that way, whatever it is that you're eating when you get home, you're going to eat less of it because you're not going to feel so famished. And your
Yep.
body isn't going to be craving something to refuel with the starvation mode it's gone into. And I would do some things. So, like to look at the Thrive meals or something like that. When I'm like that late at night, I keep it simple. Like, if it wasn't for me making those for other people, there's not a chance in hell I'd do that for myself, to be honest. So, like, there
Right.
just isn't. So, I'm someone, and I don't know if you have any time during the week to do any preparation.
Yeah.
When I say preparation, like, what type of person, do you mind eating like something simple, or do you want something that like for me, it's all about purpose late at night. But for some people, they're like, you know what, I want to sit down and really enjoy this. So how do you feel about that?
Sometimes it just depends, right? To be honest, I can do either or, but I wouldn't want 5 days of all simple.
Right.
Do you know, or like whatever. So sometimes, so that's just part of my, those of a bunch of people know this too. I have type 1 diabetes. So depending what's happening, it's like, hell, now I got to eat a lot, right? So,
Right. So
yeah. So it
if you don't
really
mind
is.
me saying, with
Yeah.
that information you just gave me, so a perfect meal for you to eat right after a workout would be do you like sweet potatoes?
Yeah.
Okay. Throw a sweet potato in the microwave, even if you do it that morning. And I do this all the time. I literally, while I'm getting ready in the morning, throw 2 sweet potatoes in the microwave, have them cook, and then stick them right in the fridge. So that when I get home, I know they're there. And then I have a bag of frozen spinach or any type of vegetable, whatever you like, broccoli. And
Yep.
frozen is great. So here's a good piece of advice for shopping. Frozen is oftentimes even better for you nutritionally than fresh from the grocery store, unless it's from a farm, because it's flash frozen. So it's retaining a lot of the nutritional value. So depending on what kind, as long as you like it, like broccoli tends to be really good, spinach, butternut squash, things like that.
Yeah.
Have something like that. And do you like the thin and trim chicken sausage? Have you
Haven't
tried
tried it.
those? Oh, good Lord. Okay. So for anyone who hasn't, Diane, of course, is sitting there going, oh, I know that. Do you shop at Market Basket?
Usually Shaw's.
Okay, if you would make a trip to Market Basket, because I cannot seem to find them anywhere else.
Okay.
So Market Basket has thin and trim chicken sausage. They are fantastic.
Okay.
And so I always have 2 or 3 packages of those for days when I don't have a lot of time to eat, but I want some flavor.
Yep.
I chop it up with the sweet potato, throw some frozen broccoli on there and stick it in the microwave. And it's really, really good. So
Okay.
Mrs. Dash is a sodium-free seasoning. So Mrs. Dash has like 10 flavors. They have a garlic and herb that's really good.
Okay.
So that right there is like a quick and easy. And those thin and trim chicken sausages are They have all different flavors and they are just simple. They're simple, but they taste delicious. And you can
Okay.
have, I usually have 2 or 3 of them. So
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's something easy and good for the nights that
Alright.
you just want to, like, you could probably do that a couple nights a week and it's not really a lot of prep.
Okay.
Okay,
Awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome. I think I heard someone. I just want to make certain. Diane, are you unmuted?
I did, but I was waiting for someone else in case you heard somebody else.
Okay, nope, go ahead.
So as we know, 5:45 classes or 5:30 in the morning class is not so conducive to being eating before going in.
I'm right there with you,
So-
woman.
I know. So usually I do like just a piece of a 1 bar, on my way in, eat the rest on the way home. But would a chicken sausage or something, not that I think I feel like having one of those that early in the morning, but would that be a better option or?
How do you feel about half of a protein shake before your workout?
Yeah, it's too much.
Too much? Or how about just even a little, how much of the 1 bar are you eating?
Just about a quarter, maybe. It's just a few bites. Because
I
otherwise I
mean-
get really nauseous and yucky.
Right. I don't really think so. Doing it that early, and you usually eat breakfast pretty soon after, right?
I try to. It doesn't always work out that way. It could be 10 o'clock before I actually eat.
Okay, so I will say this. So I think that yes, a little, so the quarter piece of a 1 bar is actually okay before your workout. A chicken sausage. Honestly, I think the 1 bar, okay, so here's the trick. Here's the challenge. I want you to have enough energy. Do you find that you have more energy when you eat it?
I'm not really much concerned about the energy as much as the lightheadedness and feeling nauseous.
Okay, so if that's the case, I would stick with the 1 bar. For
Yeah.
me personally, so and the reason being is because even though the 1 bar has a little bit of fat in it, which I always try and avoid around workouts,
Mhm.
it has some carbohydrates.
Right,
And whereas the chicken sausage isn't going to, it might have the protein, but it's not going to have any carbs.
right.
And so that would be more of my concern with that. But my biggest concern, to be honest, would be that you're eating sooner after your workout, because that's when you've been fasting for all these hours. Now you go in and you are not like, it's not like you're in there sallying around. I know how you work out. So you're kicking some ass. And then you're going, so you're essentially fasting for all those hours. You're having a quarter of a 1 bar. And then you're not eating. So it's almost like you're fasting for 12 hours.
Well, I do eat the rest of it on the way home.
Okay, so that's
And
better.
I have changed my water instead of being like one of those True Limes or True Lemon editions. I've been using my Clear Whey protein as my water.
Perfect then.
So-
Okay,
And I try to drink that before 8 or 9, which is usually why it's pushing me off a little bit further to eat breakfast.
right. If I was gonna change, like if you wanted, like if you ever thought about it and you wanted to do the optimal thing pre-workout, I would say to have a couple sips of a protein shake with a quarter piece of an apple.
Okay.
And honestly, that would be your best option for pre-workout, because that would give you a little bit of protein working with a fast digesting sugar with less fiber in it and no fat. Those 2 things are going to work to give you energy immediately and to make you feel good. So that would be your optimal choice. And if I do that, I like 1 shake will usually last me 2 or 3 days doing that. It's just my pre-workout, and 1
Right.
apple, I can get 3 servings out of it.
Okay.
So that would be good because it's the 2 best sources for energy.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to stay a little lower on carbs first thing in the morning.
Yeah, and also more than anything, so our body, like right before, like pre and post workout is the only time I tell people to not take in too much fat. And
Yeah.
that's because it slows down the absorption of the protein to feed your muscles and the carbohydrate to refuel glycogen. So for the energy source. So trying to get through the fat to do that, it's not able to transport as easily.
Okay.
So those are that's the 1 time a day I'm like, you know what, have fat. Any other time of the day, just try and avoid it there.
I give that a whirl.
So, yeah, I
Something
think
different.
I think that for you, you'll notice a difference because you're very body aware when you're in there. I think that you'll notice a difference.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
give that a try.
Okay. But if you go up in the red, we're cutting it.
Ah.
If you get a lot of energy, we're taking it out.
Yeah. It's hard to come by these days, but you never know.
Hi, Lynn. I just saw Lynn. Hi, Natalie. Oh, I see all these people here. I can suddenly see all of you. Does anyone else have any questions? I want to make certain I answer actual questions here.
Can I ask something, Naomi?
Yes, go for it, Kathy. Hi. Oh, Kathy, I'm so happy I'm not the only one laying in bed.
I am laying in bed. Oh, you
I
can
am
tell.
too.
Hey, so you just I like that idea of a quarter protein shake and a quarter apple before the workout, because I too will get dizzy and nauseous, and that's just enough to settle it down. But what about after the workout, having the remainder of the shake and apple, or is that
Perfect.
Is that okay?
Yep, absolutely.
okay.
Yep. So
Okay.
what it's called, like with our workouts, is bracketing. So I always tell people, I'm like, bracket your carbohydrate and protein like around your workout. And that's for me because I can't eat too much before the gym, but I'm famished after.
Exactly.
So just having that fast digesting, like the sugar, the clean, good sugar right after your workout restores all that glycogen, which is the energy, the carbohydrates you just used up.
Mhm.
And it actually fuels your body so that your body heals better. And the
Mhm.
protein is going to heal your muscles immediately.
That's perfect. And one last question, is
Yeah.
a banana an acceptable alternative to the apple, or?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay,
I
all
wouldn't
right.
do, I would kind of mess with your fruits. Like, I
Yeah.
think that switching them off every couple days, because they all provide something different for your body.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay, I see other people. Okay, I know this is supposed to be shopping. So, okay, so she just asked a really good question, and I had someone ask it yesterday morning. So I'm going to answer it in the best way that I can. She asked about the banana. And I know that like the banana gets a bad rap. And it's not necessarily that a banana is bad, but I do like to tell people to kind of switch up your fruits. And that's because the fiber and the sugar content in them is different. So I will say that especially as we're getting older, the best possible thing we can take in, especially women with our hormonal balance and for antioxidants and low sugar, is berries. I tell people all the time, like for your shakes, buy those bags of mixed berries. So it's Wyman's, and you can do Market Basket brand, but it's blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. And the reason being is they have the highest fiber content, the lowest sugar content, and the highest antioxidants. And so if you like the taste of a banana, it's not that it's bad, but when you get them, peel them, cut them up in half, and freeze them, and put half a banana in with half a cup of berries. That way you're getting the flavor of everything you like, but you're also getting the nutritional benefit. And as an addition, did someone just come on there? Okay. As an addition, if you're making shakes, I don't know if anyone on here who knows me is certainly doing this now, but add in ground flaxseed. If you don't have that, that's something you certainly want to be adding. And who's there? Oh, no, okay, it's just someone's
Someone's on
okay.
How
mute.
much flaxseed, Naomi?
About 2 tablespoons a day is what I recommend. And you can honestly get it in any way that you want, whether you sprinkle it on a salad, sprinkle it in oatmeal, put it in a shake. You can really get it however you want.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful scrub brush for your system. It pulls those toxins right out. I know it's so true. It pulls the toxins right out of your lining. It really does. It's a fantastic source of fiber and protein and fat. And okay, so here for also is Peggy. Oh, sorry. For chocolate lovers, if you do love chocolate, are you going to ask a question, Peggy?
Nope, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to make certain I wasn't ignoring you. For chocolate lovers, if you like cacao powder and you want something to help with hormonal balance and you like chocolate, the Hershey's Special Dark Chocolate, most certainly purchase that. Because that's something that if you're having a chocolate craving, you can put a couple tablespoons of that into oatmeal, into a shake, into a yogurt, And that can curb a chocolate craving, and it also helps with hormonal balance, and it's bonus fiber for 20 calories. I'm trying to, ooh, I should touch on condiments, huh? I don't know if everyone on here knows about condiments. Yes, I'm a condiment whore, so I totally understand. I have a problem. Someone recommended, what was it to me the other day? Oh, so if anyone on here doesn't already know about G Hughes, has everyone here tried G Hughes brand? Oh, good. Oh, okay. So it's my favorite. So I used to have to order it online. Now you can get it. So Walmart has the most abundant amount of G Hughes products. So basically they have basic everything now, but they have teriyaki sauce, they have lemon and herb marinades, they have a sweet chili lime sauce, they have barbecue sauces, they have everything, and it's no sugar added and 10 calories. So if anyone knows most condiments have a ton of sugar in them and a ton of calories. And you want to really watch out for like the barbecue sauces. Speaking of, Sweet Baby Ray's now does a no sugar added barbecue sauce. So their regular has 70 calories a serving and 17 grams of sugar for a tablespoon. And their sugar free has 10 calories and no sugar. So that's huge. Things like that really, really add up fast. So definitely check out your condiments. If you like dressings, salad dressings like blue cheese, ranch, any of those, go for the Boathouse dressing. Have you guys tried that? It's over so they have it at Hannaford. I don't know about Shaw's, but they must. They have it at Market Basket, Walmart, but the Boathouse dressings are in the produce aisle. So they're up on a shelf generally in the cold produce aisle. And those are yogurt-based dressings. So a blue cheese dressing has 40 calories and 3.5 grams of fat and more natural flavors, like it's actually natural, as opposed to like 140 calories and 18 grams of fat. So that's a really big swap, and it's very, very good. I'm looking on, it's so hard for me to see everyone. Oh, Bonnie's on here. There's a lot of people on here. See, I don't get to see all of you. Who's on the Carol? Oh, sorry. It looks like someone has a question. Carol, did you have a question?
I think you just answered it. I was gonna say, yes, please talk about condiments, but I also watched your video about meal planning. And so I think I got all of those. I wasn't sure about the G Hughes products. I've never had those before.
Oh, you haven't?
So-
Oh my goodness. So the people that I took shopping yesterday, they were talking to me about how they buy all of these marinated chickens and stuff, and like the pork tenderloins. And that
Right.
is something that we got for them because she still wanted to have them. But what I had her do is she bought a bunch of chicken. And so she just bought the G Hughes teriyaki, and now she's going to marinate that when she buys it, put it in a Ziploc freezer bag and just have it in the freezer and ready to go for a quick and easy dinner at night.
See, that's what I was afraid of, is buying the pre-marinated stuff. I figured it had too much sugar and chemicals just in
does.
general. So, okay.
Yep,
Thank you.
it has a lot of sugar, a lot of oils, generally it usually adds a couple hundred calories a serving.
Right. Okay. Thank
So
you.
no, that is perfect. You're welcome. And like I said, the Walmart has a lot of the different flavors. I don't think Hannaford has a lot of them, but Market Basket and Walmart certainly do. JC, can you unmute?
Sorry, I thought I did. I'm looking it up on my phone, and the G Hughes, like, wow, on
Yeah.
Walmart. Yeah,
Yep. It's amazing. It really, really is.
Yeah.
So I've been addicted to it for like 2-3 years probably now, and they just started getting it in the store last year. It used to be $7 a bottle.
yeah, it's like $3 a bottle.
Yep, it's way better. It's so good. It is really, really good. The only
Okay.
thing that sometimes, and Becky can definitely, so I like it, but Becky didn't necessarily like it much, was the honey mustard dipping sauce. I personally like it, but some people, that's the only one I found that people aren't a huge fan of.
Okay.
But everything else, like any of the marinades, are fantastic.
They look awesome.
And it's something that like with condiments, they can bury us. Like if we have a salad, we can be doing everything right. We put the wrong dressing on there and it messes up the whole thing. But the Boathouse dressings are really good. The Skinny Girl dressings, if anyone hasn't tried those, are also fantastic. Okay, I thought someone else was just. Does anyone have any more questions? I want to make certain. I see there's some things I feel like, but I don't know if people know about them. Like, does everyone on here know about the Joseph's Oat Flax pitas? Has everyone on here tried those, like for making pizzas, making wraps, those type of things? So the Joseph's Oat Flax pitas are really, really good too. And those are usually on an end cap. At Hannaford, they're on a center rack in the like bakery area with all the other pitas. But Joseph's Oat Flax pitas, if you look at those are really good because they're lower in calories. You can do lavages, you can do wraps with them. They have taco wraps, like those type of things. So those are a fantastic option. Those are what I
Naomi,
make. Yeah.
this is Carol again. Yeah, I got that from watching the meal prep video, and I have the pita chips going all the time. And if I have a sweet tooth, then I have some that have cinnamon on them. And then I'll do like non-fat Greek yogurt with some cinnamon and
Yep.
stevia in it and dip. And then I also, so every week I usually have, I make a container of that. And then I make a container of like a savory one. So like a dill, Pampered Chef, like dill spice mix. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
I'll do some garlic pita chips for those. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
been-
so
I have them
it's
going
so
all the
good.
time now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're one of the best little snacks because it feels like I don't want to say cheating because I don't feel like anything's really cheating, but it does. It's finding the things that make us feel like we're getting to enjoy what we're doing, where we learn to eat that way and it actually satisfies us mentally as well as physically. And something
Right.
like that definitely does,
Agreed.
just like you said, to find something where you can do a little bit of cinnamon on it and it feels like you're satisfying a sweet tooth.
Right.
And Deja just messaged in as well. And that's something that's become one of my favorite things, is just taking some of the vegetable or ranch dip and packets and mixing that right in with a fat-free Greek yogurt. And you just mix that in and keep it in your fridge. And that's now a dip for veggies. So now you have a high protein dip that you can dip celery, carrots, anything like that in it. And you're getting a protein and a carbohydrate. And it's a simple snack and it's in one container and you can use it for the whole week. I can honestly say, I mean, I think a lot of people have discovered my love for it, but the Quest chips have been like those things are like my saving grace at least once a day now. It's crazy. Do not buy the full size bag because it's not a thing. Don't do it. I thought I could trust myself. I cannot. Don't even pretend. I thought I had willpower, not so much.
Naomi, I have another question,
Yes.
if you don't mind. And
No, I
mean,
love
it's to do with
questions.
shopping. And when I took your course in person and you were talking about salad and how you keep it fresh for a week, how do you do that? Because I can't keep it fresh for like a day and a half.
So
Yeah.
So what I usually do, so I'll buy like some romaine lettuce and I buy the spring mix. And then I buy like maybe some arugula or whatever it is I'm feeling that day. And I will, yeah, Deja, I love the Quest chips too. My daughter tries eating them. I don't let her. I hide them in my car. But so I have what they call a fish bucket. Have you ever heard of that? So it's basically just a big Tupperware bucket that has a really good seal on it. But what do you keep it in? I think you're muted.
I do it at work all the time too.
It's
They're
okay.
like, you're muted. It's usually just like a Rubbermaid or a Tupperware, like the big bowl.
Okay. So if you're keeping it in something like that, have you ever tried to keep a little bit of water in the bottom of it?
No.
So if you put a little bit, so you know how like, so they have them and I would order it online. If I think about it all here, I have to write it on my hand, then I'll remember. But so you can go right online and you can look and you can probably find, like, if you punch into Amazon, like a salad keeper,
Yep,
and just punch in like container to keep salad fresh. Usually what they have, it's almost like a strainer. And then
Yep.
it has another bucket underneath it. So you keep water in the bottom bucket and you keep the other bucket inside of it and you put the lid on, and basically it keeps the moisture in the vegetables.
okay,
But for me, if I had an extra one, if I go to the store and if I go to Restaurant Depot, I'll get one for you. But it's basically called a fish bucket, and they call them that because fish companies use them because it keeps the fish so fresh you can't smell it. And I take all of my things and dump it in there. And
okay,
that's how it lasts me about a week.
wow, okay.
But I'm surprised in the Rubbermaid containers, it's not. What type of lettuces are you using?
I've done everything from iceberg to spinach. Spinach is the one thing that will last a little longer, like baby spinach.
Yeah.
I've done romaine, I've done like butter and leaf, and
Huh.
it just does not do well.
Okay. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. Usually, do you do them in separate containers or one big one?
one big one.
Okay. That's what I usually do too. If I get another fish bucket, I'll bring one in for you, but I would look that up on Amazon and I'll do it as
Okay.
well.
All right, I'll take a look.
Okay.
Thank you.
A paper towel slice in my stored salad. That's a good idea. So that's kind of the same idea. It's just keeping moisture, like that would work to put like a wet paper towel, like 3 of them folded over right on top. It's just that it needs to keep the moisture in there. Oh, you're muted.
So
You're muted
Oh, I-
again. I don't know why it muted.
God, I'm a hot mess, but
You're
I would have,
okay.
I would have thought the moisture would have been a no-no, and that's what would cause it to go
Yeah,
bad.
no, think of when, have you
Yeah.
ever been to a restaurant and seen the way that they store salads there? They usually store them, they have to shake out the water because they store the lettuce in the water after they cut it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so logically though, I totally know what you're saying because I would think the same thing. I would
okay.
absolutely think the same thing. So logically, I understand.
So paper towel over the top.
Yeah, that's what Deja
Okay.
just said. She just said she
Okay.
does that with hers.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, does anyone have any more questions? I don't want to leave any questions unanswered. I use the salad spinner. Yep. Salad spinner is one. I think that that's kind of like what it is that I was thinking of to order online, is the salad spinner. Okay, I want to make certain. Hi, Dawn, did you have a
Naomi.
question? Hi,
I
how are
do.
you?
I'm a big salad eater. I usually have them 3-4 times a week at lunch because that's just my go-to. The dressing is always an issue, and I don't find very many of them that are, well, first of all, I want pure olive oil. There's not very many that do that because I'm
Yeah.
not a creamy based one. I prefer to have vinaigrettes. But I found this, my daughter recommended this to me, and it's called a whiskware.
Yes.
And it's got recipes in them, and I'm looking at them. I haven't used it yet, but I mean, I buy pretty quality olive oil because I'm a little particular. And then the ingredients are basically, you have a vinegar in there, it says lemon, and you can do mustard and agave or honey, and then crushed peppers and that sort of thing. As far as the lettuce itself, I usually rinse it and then do the spinner, and I put my lettuce in like the brown paper lunch bags and then put it in the refrigerator, and they seem to stay longer.
That's
I don't want to keep
interesting.
it in plastic. I don't like sometimes I'll take it home in plastic from the grocery store, but I have to get it out of there. Just trying to get away from all of that and just
Yeah.
store it in a better manner. And they seem to last longer. For me, the spinach always goes faster. But then I
Huh.
just throw it in a shake. If it starts to go,
That's what I do.
because it really annoys me to have to throw food away. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
have you- I'm sorry, I didn't want to
Go
interrupt
ahead.
you. Have you
ahead.
tried to make a raspberry vinaigrette yet with that?
No, I haven't, but that sounds
will-
good.
Oh my goodness. I made one last year, a raspberry vinaigrette, and it was fantastic. You had to blend up the raspberries in the blender, but you did it with the olive oil. If I can find the recipe, I'll send it to you. One of the
I-
best dressings I ever had.
Really, 'cause we have blackberries in our yard.
Ooh,
And-
that'd be good too.
I didn't pick because they're a tough plant to pick because the thorns are really tough. So, but I do have one bag. I tried that. I think that would be
Mm.
pretty
That would be good. Yeah, if I
No,
can
just
find the
that-
recipe, I'll send that to you and you could just modify for that.
good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, that was
That's a-
my,
Well, thank you. I think that's awesome. I would never think to put it in paper bags. I think that's intriguing.
right. Yeah. So that
Yeah,
I
it
just
is.
find that they last longer and I can get my whole week with the
Mhm.
salads I want. So
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
really great information. I'm taking notes. So
Oh, good. Okay, that's good. It's hard for me not to be really interactive, so I don't know if I'm giving
Right,
everyone what
right.
they need.
right. Well, thanks again. I'll let someone else go.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dawn.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Does anyone on here have any questions? I don't know how long we usually go on here, so I don't want to keep people late. So I will say, so something that, and a couple of my clients I've been working with recently have really found, and one of them was just on here, which is why I thought about it. We got her to switch over from, has anyone here been trying the Fairlife milk? I know that a couple of people were doing the Core Power protein shakes. And so I looked into it a little bit, and a lot of people have been using that for she started out because she really liked the whole milk. So I got her to go down to the Fairlife 1%, and now she's at the skim. And the Core Power protein shakes are really good. I mean, they have 42 grams of protein, which is awesome. And they actually taste good, which is amazing. On that note, there's not often I say not to buy anything. Do not buy the Evolve protein shakes ever at the store. If you're ever thinking of doing it, don't do it. I went for a vegetarian Evolve shake and I couldn't even drink it. So don't do that. That's my piece of don't do. And I do most things that are healthy, but I could not do that. Love Fairlife. I know, Natalie, it's so good. And that's what I love about, so the thing about it is it has less calories, less additives. It's more natural. It does only come in a smaller container, but it tastes fantastic. And you can do skim and you have a good protein source, and it doesn't have all the added sugars to it, which I really, really like. Is that Kathy? Okay, does anyone have any more questions? Okay, I don't want to keep everyone too long on here. So if no one has questions, I will let everyone, Becky, how long do we usually go? I don't want to cut everyone off, but I don't want to keep them too long either. She might have muted me.
45 to an hour is good.
Okay, so we're doing
Usually.
okay. All right. Okay, Becky, is there anything you can think of that I haven't touched on that I should?
Not that I can think of.
I feel like I'm getting a lot of stuff. It's so hard too, because I know there's a lot of people on here that know a lot of the things, but there's also a lot of stuff that all of us don't know.
Naomi, if you were going to the store with all of us in tow, what would be your top 5 things that we would have to buy?
The number one thing I would say as we walked in the door is that we're all going to find 5 protein sources that we can add to our everyday life. So that is one of the things, because I think that a lot of us are deficient in protein and not getting enough, and we have such a hard time finding it. So I would want everyone to find one that worked best for them. So I would ask everyone to say, okay, I want you to find 2 protein sources that you can use as snacks. And one of those could, and so that could be, so usually one of your snacks can be, okay, let's find a protein shake that you like, or some type of protein powder that you like, because it doesn't have to be complicated. Let's make this as simple as possible. And then I would say, okay, if people like cottage cheese or yogurt, that can be one of our protein sources and one of our snacks. Throw some blueberries in there. TVP is great. So Deja's just put on here, TVP is a fantastic option. So it's almost like a little crunchy granola type thing, and it's protein, and you throw it in to a yogurt, cottage cheese on a salad, and it's just crunchy. I would ask people what type of bread that they're eating. I would definitely ask that. If people are eating bread, what type of bread is it? And see if we can transition from whatever bread it is to either Ezekiel or the 45 like Sara Lee Delights for bread. I would say that, because you either want to go the best of the best, but if that's too grainy, yes, Ezekiel bread is fantastic. They also have a cinnamon raisin that's great for French toast. So either go with that, which is in the frozen food section, or go to the Sara Lee Delights, because now you get 2 slices for the price of 1. So
Can I
that
ask-
way we're fine. Yeah,
Where do you get the Ezekiel bread? Because I've looked
It-
for it. Find
it's
it.
in the frozen food section.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
yep, so Ezekiel is completely natural. It's sprouted grains. So
Mhm.
it's a little bit more expensive. You have to keep it in your freezer because it's all natural. And so that's where it is.
Okay, thank
But
you.
yeah, it's really good. And so I always recommend, if you want it for like French toast, the cinnamon raisin's great. It's really good. It's best toasted, just as an like little prerequisite. It tastes good otherwise, but it's best toasted. Just because it is all natural. It's fantastic though. If you do you like hearty grains? Good. You're gonna love it. You're gonna really, really like it. And ooh, I can't believe I forgot about this. Has everyone here had PB2?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
so fantastic snack that's high in protein. So here is a little trick for your PB2 if you like peanut butter. Piece of Ezekiel toast, 1 or 2, toasted. You make some PB2, add in a little bit of protein powder to your PB2. Now you have protein peanut butter. Put that on your toast, put some fresh sliced strawberries or a half a banana, and it's like a perfect little meal. You have a little bit of fat, you have your carbohydrate, and you have a high protein peanut butter. And it tastes amazing. And instead of jelly, you're using strawberries. Go ahead, Kathy.
I have a question. I haven't figured out on, I love the Fairlife shakes. Love them. I'm so thrilled that I heard about them.
Yeah.
They have the Core Power, which is
Yep.
24 grams of protein. And they have one with 24 grams of sugar that's 250 calories. I bought that by mistake once because I was looking for the 170 calorie one, which is 24 grams of protein with 5 grams of sugar. So
Yep.
that one I really liked. And I'm having a hard time finding that. So I've been going to the 150 calorie, 30 gram nutrition. And I'm just wondering if that 30 grams of protein, 150 calorie is, that's the one I've been using because it doesn't have so much sugar in it instead of the Core Power.
What's the name of it?
They're all Fairlife.
Okay, so that one's Fairlife? Yeah,
they're all-
that's, I mean, if it's 150 calories, where'd you get
30
that one?
30 grams of protein.
Yeah, no, if that's, you don't need more than the 30 grams, you don't need the 42. So if it has 30 grams of protein, you're getting the adequate amount of protein for the amount of calories that's in the drink. I think that's perfect.
Right, but it doesn't
Yep.
matter if it's not called Core Power Fairlife.
Nope, not at
Okay.
all.
All
Nope.
right. Thank you.
You are welcome. Lisa, you just asked where you can get sugar-free syrup. So they oftentimes do have it at Market Basket. They were out this week. I know a lot of companies are having a hard time getting things. They do have a no sugar added or a sugar-free maple syrup at Hannaford. That's their own brand, and also at Walmart. The one I like best is Vermont Made, and that one usually is at Market Basket, but not right now. And I think Melissa just posted on here, she uses the Fairlife as like the little protein as her creamer in her coffee, which is really good because then you're getting a little boost of protein in your coffee. What else did she post? The PB2. The PB2 is so good. Other bread things I was talking about. So you asked the 5 top things and I said the 2 snack things. So finding 2 high protein snacks, exchanging a bread out. So figuring out a different type of bread, whether you're going like, whether it's going from like pitas and wraps and things, going to the Joseph's oat flax, like that's really good. Ezekiel always also has a wrap. Switching from a huge one is switching from the 93% lean if you get turkey burger and chicken burger to the 99% lean. It doesn't seem like a big jump, but believe me, it is. The difference is about 60 calories a serving, and I think 7 grams of fat. So 99% lean turkey burger or chicken burger. And if you want to save money, bigger thing, but it's a little bit of work, but not a ton, is you grind your own, buy chicken breasts, cut off the fat and put them in the Cuisinart and grind them yourself. It goes from $4.99 a pound to $1.99 a pound. So that's a really good trick, and just do 10 pounds at a time and put them in 2-pound bags. So it's going to save you like $3 a pound for ground chicken breast, and you know it's lean because you did it yourself. So that's a really good little trick. Is there anything else? If there's something really big also that I could say about the grocery store, start looking at the things that you're buying. Like something I discussed with the people that I took on the tour yesterday was looking at the items, and she couldn't believe that she had to, what is your opinion on nutritional yeast is fantastic. Nutritional yeast is really, really good. Definitely utilize that. It's a high protein source. It's great to sprinkle on most things, and it's natural. Definitely good. She couldn't believe that they were adding sugar and sodium to so many items. And that's what we were looking at. So even things like she makes her chilies and her soups with diced tomatoes. And I had her just look at the can. She didn't even know that they offered cans of diced tomatoes with no sodium no salt added. It's a 400 milligram a serving difference when you get the no salt added things with it, when you're buying stuff like that. And with sugar, even with applesauce, just get the no sugar added, because they're adding it to things that don't require it and you don't need it. So you're trying to eat healthy and they're adding a bunch of crap to it. Reading the labels is monumentally helpful for you. Another thing, if something says natural or organic, it doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. If it says no trans fat, this is a big one. Peanut butters say natural on the front. If it says 0 trans fat, turn it over, look at the label. If it says hydrogenated oil anywhere in that label, it has trans fat in it. So trans fat, if people don't know what it is, so they've banned it, but they're still allowed to use it under 1 gram a serving. Does everyone here know what Crisco is? Like lard, the white Crisco thick fat stuff they use. So that's trans fat. So when they have peanut butter and they're saying there's under 1 gram a serving, so if the peanut butter is this big, this much is peanuts and this much is the lard, the trans fat that they're mixing in to give it that soft, smooth consistency. Hello?
Sorry, I'm
That's
not
okay.
on mute.
That's okay. But that's what you want to look out for, because they're allowed to tell you that there's nothing in there when there really is some in there, because it's under 1 gram a serving. So if you're supposed to get none in your whole life and there's 16 grams in one jar, I think personally, I think it's awful they're allowed to do it. But just for peanut butters, things like that, like look for the items, because whatever's in the first 5 ingredients is what's predominant in that item. So if there's sugar as your second ingredient, it's probably not something you want. Like with the applesauce that they're adding sugar to, it says apples and sugar. And if you get no sugar added, it's just apples. Like there's no point for them to be doing that. And it's the easiest way to start looking at things like that, to start cleaning up your nutrition without even making significant changes elsewhere, because it's so impactful. Just to start saying, you know what, I'm not going to buy this crap. Like I'm not going to take the crap in. Buy as many whole foods as you can. And I think that goes towards your question, Jacine, is where's my whole foods? Like protein sources, I can get chicken, I can get fish, I can get cans of tuna or packets of tuna, that works. I can get fruit and vegetables, like those are whole foods, those are carbohydrates. I can do things like dairy as long as that's good for people. The protein shake, like how can I fit more of these just easier whole foods, oatmeal, like anything like that. Like, how do we get more of that into our nutrition? And veer more away from the things that are like macaroni and cheese or Chef Bar, any of these things that they just don't work. If you feel like crap when you eat it, like kind of look at it like that. Is there any other? Who's there? I hear someone. I feel like I'm stalking all of you. Okay, does anyone have any more questions? Do you have recommendations on oatmeal brands? I have to tell you, so honestly, I'm pretty big on I just like old-fashioned oatmeal. Like, that's what I like to eat. I cook my oatmeal, I get old-fashioned oats, I put a little bit of water on it and I put it in the microwave or I heat it on the stove or whatever. I put some cinnamon in it and it's good to go for me. And I usually put like either protein powder in it. So I have a protein and a carb. I always put ground flaxseed. And I can also, sometimes I'll take my egg whites and cook them right in with my oatmeal. It sounds funny, but it's really good. But I mean, it all depends on the oatmeal that you're going to eat. And I think that's the most complicated thing is usually people. Hi, Sally.
Hi.
Hi, did you have a question?
No, I just popped on.
Oh, okay. So usually people tell me, they're like, oh, well, I bought steel cut oatmeal, but it takes so long to cook. If you're not going to eat it, if it's too complicated, don't go for that item. Go for the item that will actually fit into your life. For me, I am never cooking steel cut oatmeal. Is it delicious? Yes. I will never take the time to cook it. I will cook the other oatmeal in the microwave for 3 minutes and have some egg whites with it or throw in some protein powder and make it easy for myself. I will do that. So it's looking at the items that are healthy, but also will definitely work for you. If you make it too complicated, it's not functional. That's why I like the thin and trim chicken sausage.
You can
You know
do
what,
steel cut-
Naomi?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I like the oats as well, but I put water and I put them overnight.
Mhm.
And I'll do like fruit, but I'll also put protein powder. And then I'll sneak in a few golden raisins,
Yep.
just to
And
add
it
to it.
feels like heaven.
I used to put chocolate chips, but my trainer didn't want me to, so.
Have you ever tried the Believe chocolate chips?
Those
No,
good.
but I guess I will.
Yeah, the Believe chocolate chips from I've only seen them at Walmart or online. So they're sweetened with stevia. I put like 3 or 4 of those in my oatmeal and I'm in pure heaven. I do it with strawberries. So it's like strawberry with a little bit. So it's like less calories than regular and they're sweetened with stevia. So they don't like, you don't crave anymore. Like just a few of them makes me happy. So try those.
Yeah.
Hey, Diane?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the other thing you can do with steel cut oats is put it in a crock pot.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Chopped green apple and cinnamon. Absolutely.
Mm.
There's so many things to do with oatmeal. I really, really love it. You could also make baked oatmeal bars, but they're super easy. I made them for Thrive today. Like they're pretty easy. And you basically cut up like 18 of them and just put them in the freezer. And then you have a breakfast every day that has protein and oatmeal. So yeah, it's just finding what works for everyone. Does anyone have any more questions? No, okay.
When's your cafe gonna be open?
Oh my goodness. So we cooked there for the first time today. It was awesome. And so I think we're opening the 3rd Monday in December. That's why I know. Yay, I'm so excited. So yes, we cooked there today. My boyfriend took off the day and went and cooked with me. It was just so, I can't even talk about it because I'll start crying. Like it was so wonderful. It's just such a huge transition in such a beautiful, beautiful way. So it's good. Thank you for asking.
We'll get you part of the Dover Chamber.
Ooh, yes. You're welcome, Deja. Bye-bye. Yeah, no, I've joined the Women's Business League, so I'm making my way into doing things. So thank you, Natalie. And thank you very much. I'm very excited. Yes, I hope that everyone got all the information they were looking for. If anyone has any questions, you guys can always like message me too. I love this. Oh, yay, you have plants for me. I love that. Thank you, Dawn. That place is gonna be filled with oxygen and plants. Okay, if anyone has any questions, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Kathy.
This was great, Naomi. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, Dawn. Thank you.
And have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night.
Bye.
Yes, thank you
Bye.
so much. Good
You're
night.
welcome. Bye, Peggy. Oh, there's so many people on here. I didn't get to see their faces. Bye, Diane.
Naomi.
Bye, Amy. Bye, Sally. Bye, Alice. Amy, did you have a question? Oh, no, there she goes. Bye, Sally.
Bye.